Every year, we escape the Canadian winter and come back to one of our favorite places in the world, Costa Rica. The journey always starts the same way. We take an overnight flight to San Jose, and this time we actually managed to book business class using points, which is always a nice bonus. We land around midnight, so we usually spend the night at a hotel, grab some breakfast in the morning, and then head to the domestic airport for one more flight. By the way, these are the reusable boarding passes they use here, very Costa Rica. A tiny plane takes us to the Osa Peninsula, one of the wildest parts of the country. And the views from up there, they never got old. About 45 minutes later, we land in Puerto Jimenez. And just like that, we're home. This isn't the Costa Rica most tourists see. There are no big resorts or crowded beaches around us, just jungle, wildlife, ocean, and a place that has slowly started to feel like home.
Okay, so guys, we're finally made it to Costa Rica. And today is day 2 of our trip. We arrived yesterday and we're already on a go to faraway places, aka Panama. So currently, me and my husband were driving to Panama border because they have a city mall there.
Duty-free stores.
They have duty-free stores, and we need to buy a lot of things for the house. And we also need to buy stuff for our baby's birthday because she turns 2 on Tuesday. So it is kind of worrisome to be leaving her with grandma for the whole day of the trip so soon when we just arrived. But she's really good with grandma. I'm hoping everything will be fine. I'm hoping we will be quick. And we're taking you guys with us.
So this is Pasa Canoas. It's a town that is split in between two countries, and it is known for its duty-free shopping. It's only about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and we always stock up there because, as you can see, they have practically anything there. And yes, you guessed it, these are our sunsets. It's just breathtaking. If you don't do a small dance party before leaving your kid with grandma, then what are you doing with your life? And this was our main attraction. This year we installed pool at our villa, and my God, was Emily obsessed with it. She would spend every waking hour by the pool. If we were not at the seaside, at the ocean, she would be by this pool. So this turned out to be definitely one of the smartest investments me and my husband ever did, because just look at how happy my baby is. Another local attraction is picking coconuts right from the palm tree by your house. And trust me, those are the tastiest coconuts I've ever tried. Emily took a fancy on them. One of the signs that we used to come here a lot last year, and that afterwards my husband used to come here a lot when he had to come back here throughout the year 3 times, is when people greet him here by his name whenever he walks in. Oh, and this masterpiece is my favorite stop along the route. This is actually a trash can. I do not know who the owner is, but boy, he's creative. We came to the supermarket to buy some groceries, and we're gonna film it. To answer the question, how much is everything here? Okay, so grocery prices is something people always ask us about, and I gotta tell you, groceries here are a mix of surprisingly cheap and surprisingly expensive. Anything grown locally is usually a great deal, while imported brands often cost much more than you'd expect. But in general, it comes down to pretty much the same as shopping in Canada. And what I love is that every registry has two prices, one in local currency colognes and another one will show you the equivalent in US dollars. One of the things you have to do in tropical countries is try local fruits that you usually don't find home. Like, for example, maracuya, I actually really liked, but this giant one is called soursop or guanabana. In Spanish, it has a soft, creamy texture and it's sweet, slightly tangy flavor, but it is kind of unique. I'm still debating on whether I like it or not, but it's definitely worth a try. It's interesting. It's sweet and sour at the same time. Another staple here is plantains. They're kind of like bananas, but they're usually cooked instead of eaten raw. Our favorite version is the savory one, fried until golden and served as a side dish. But when they're fully ripe, they become so sweet and are often served as a dessert or alongside savory meals. Since eating out in Costa Rica is pretty affordable, we did it quite a lot. One thing that did surprise us was that despite having both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, seafood isn't actually the star of most local menus, although you can definitely find fresh fish if you know where to look. Like this masterpiece was cooked by our house at a local restaurant where we eat out a lot, and this was our go-to spot for evening meetings with friends. One of the most popular local dishes is called casado. It usually comes with rice, beans, salad, sweet plantains, and your choice of protein. The name literally means married, but no one really knows exactly where it came from. One popular story says that it was the kind of hearty homemade lunch that married men would get from their wives, while another says it's because all the different foods are married together in one plate. Of course, we didn't eat only traditional food. Like this one evening, we found amazing Italian restaurant, and it turned out into much more than just dinner. We noticed that the restaurant had a lot of toys, toddler toys to be precise, and it appeared that the owner had a daughter who was almost Emily's age, and once those two met, there was no stopping them. They had so much fun tearing down the restaurant, and it was the cutest thing ever to watch them play together. In the meantime, we came to a very beautiful place in the middle of a jungle. There's a restaurant. So I've never been to this part of Osa. And the thing is that it's wild jungle here, but there's hotel after hotel, lodge after lodge, and there's so many people here. If we had to choose just one favorite restaurant on the peninsula, it would definitely be Martina's Bar. It's tucked away in the jungle on the road to the southern part of the Osa Peninsula, and it's one of those places that gets everything right. And I mean everything. The food is incredible, the drinks are delicious, the atmosphere is beautiful, and the interior has so much character that you almost don't know where to look first. One of our favorite things to do here is simply drive. The Osa Peninsula isn't a place where everything is around the corner. If you want to see something beautiful, chances are you'll have to hit the road first. And honestly, the drive is often just as beautiful as the destination. Every turn seems to reveal a different landscape. Okay, never would I ever risk coming down here on a car, but my husband did it. So now we're in this beautiful place. And the weather here has a personality of its own. One minute it's bright and sunny, and the next the jungle disappears behind a wall of rain. But what about the view from the top? Seeing the peninsula from above gives you a completely different perspective. That's when you realize just how wild and untouched this place actually is. We just almost lost our drone because we were doing one of those overhead shots where the drone was actively tracking the car, and apparently the drone battery was low, and we were driving for quite some time, And the drone said, I'm done. I'm returning to home point, which was our starting point of our car. And it was in the middle of a road, and there was a car driving that way. So we had to return very, very, very fast and save our drone from being run over by another car. And my husband did some driving tricks, but we managed to keep our drone safe. But yeah, always check your drone's battery. And views like this is exactly why we keep coming back. There is always something new waiting just around the next corner. Like this time, we discovered this amazing viewpoint up in the mountains, and the view is just breathtaking. So, this is one of our favorite view spots. This whole thing is our Osa Peninsula, and we're at the very beginning of the Golfo Dulce, which is this tropical fjord. It's so pretty. And yes, you heard that right. I called Golfo Dulce one of the very few tropical fjords in the world. Unlike the fjords you might picture in Norway, this one is surrounded by lush rainforest instead of snow-covered mountains. It's incredibly deep, remarkably calm, and home to an amazing variety of marine life, including dolphins, whales, sea turtles, and even whale sharks that occasionally visit these waters. It's one of the things that makes the Osa Peninsula so unique. We were driving on this road less than 2 weeks ago, and this whole road is completely new in less than 2 weeks. And we've been driving it for about a kilometer already. And look at that. In just 2 weeks, it is absolutely possible to lay down a perfectly good road. Scarlet macaws fly over the house almost every day. Toucans stop by from time to time, and actual hummingbirds visit our pool like tiny flying jewels. And this is another big reason we fell in love with the Osa Peninsula. It's wildlife. You don't really have to go looking for it because it's everywhere. And I mean literally everywhere. Like, come on, where else would you see that just driving by to the restaurant? There's monkeys everywhere. And you can see the teeny tiny baby clinging to his mama on this one. Okay, so this is our third time in Costa Rica. Third time for me. For my husband, it's like sixth, seventh time. And we still haven't seen a sloth in person. Life is unfair. Anyway, I'm on a mission to actually track down a sloth because presumably there's supposed to be a lot of them. But I just got myself on a thought that I'm constantly looking down when I should actually be looking up at the trees. So right now, whenever you see me, I'm always like this, looking up, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see a sloth as well.
Several days later.
We're going to the beach right now, even though it's raining, because our friend just gave us a call and told us that a sloth came out and we're finally going to see the sloth. Yeah! When we arrived, she was asleep. We stood there in the rain hoping she'd wake up. For the longest time, nothing happened. And then, almost as if she knew we were waiting, she slowly lifted her head and started reaching for a few leaves. And it was one of those little moments that made the whole trip unforgettable. In Costa Rica, you're surrounded by wildlife everywhere you go. And sometimes all you have to do is look down. The rainforest floor is literally crawling with life. If there's one thing the Osa Peninsula has no shortage of, it's beaches. There are so many of them, and somehow no two look exactly the same. Golfo Dulce also attracts quite a bit of boat traffic. You'll see everything from small local boats to private yachts and expedition cruise ships passing through or anchoring here for a while. National Geographic expeditions regularly come into the Gulf as well, and Playa Blanca is actually one of their stops.
Pura vida, caprones.
Pura vida.
One thing you need to know about Costa Rican beaches is there aren't necessarily the classic white sand, turquoise lagoon beaches you might picture when you think of a tropical vacation. A lot of the beaches here have darker sand, which gives the coastline a completely different look. But the water is something else. Especially inside the Golfo Dulce, from above, you can really see just how clear it is. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it's some of the clearest water I've ever seen in my life. And then there's Playa Blanca, the beach closest to our home, and the one we probably visit the most. It's calm, peaceful, incredibly clear, and over the years, it's simply become our beach. Okay, so we are continuing to study local beaches because there's a lot of them. And for our guests who stay at our Airbnb, we have a little guidebook of where to go. So we found another great beach, Playa Juanito More. And it's so nice. There's a lot of shadow here and a lot of palms. And it's very beautiful and quiet. And this beach was only a short drive from our house, and before long, it became one of our go-to beaches. Unlike some of the wilder beaches on the peninsula, the water here is usually calm, making it a perfect spot for families with kids. We even came here during the rain, and it was just as beautiful.
Okay, so it's currently 7 in the morning, 7:08. It's Valentine's Day, and we are off to a new adventure. So, where are we going?
We're going to take a surfing lessons.
Yay! Still, neither of us has surfed before, and this is going to be our first time ever attempting to do this. I have no idea if I will be able to shoot you the process, but I'm gonna do my best to do it. And yes, we're going off to surfing lessons.
Neither of us had ever surfed before, so this was a first for both of us. It was exciting and honestly a little intimidating, but we couldn't have asked for a better instructor. Anthony made the whole experience feel surprisingly approachable. Instead of rushing us into the water, we spent plenty of time practicing on the beach first. He walked us through every step: how to pop up, where to place our hands, how to position our body, and which foot should lead. That's actually how we found out that we're both goofy surfers, which means your right foot stays at the front of the board while your left foot is at the back. By the time we paddled out, we felt like we actually knew what we were doing. So this was one of the best experiences in our lives, and we managed to actually take some videos. Our instructor did it for us, and it was amazing. If you guys ever have a chance to try surfing, do it, because I know we now will be surfing every single time we can because it's so much fun. So we just finished surfing. We did not shoot today how we were surfing because we had no one to do the camera stuff on the shore. But I just want to say we came here at 6:30 a.m. Right now it's 9 a.m. when we're done. And look at how far the tide went from when I was showing you the first time. Okay, so I haven't been as good in filming content during this trip. We are here for almost a week now, and I'm just starting to create actual content for YouTube. My husband is helping me, obviously. But right now we're off to a secluded romantic beach where you cannot swim because of the waves. But it's supposed to be very beautiful. My husband, who's almost local here, knows this stuff, and we're taking you with us. So the name of the beach we're going to is Matapalo, and if we had to choose just one beach on the entire Osa Peninsula, this would be it. Getting there isn't exactly easy. The road is rough, slow, and definitely quite an adventure. And that is exactly the part of what has kept this place so special. The locals would rather see the road stay the way it is than make it easier for mass tourism to reach the beach. It's one small way of helping protect one of the most beautiful places on the peninsula. And trust me, when you get there, you understand why they want to protect this place. The first time we arrived, we just stood there for a very long time, to be honest, just taking it all in. The beach seemed to go on forever, with the rainforest stretching right to the edge of the Pacific Ocean. It felt wild, untouched, and incredibly peaceful. And so we came back here again and again and again, first by ourselves, then my husband took my mom there, and then we decided it's time to take Emily there and show her this beauty. And boy, did she have fun there. We were worried about the waves and everything, but with the right supervision, my God, the emotions my baby received on that beach were priceless. And honestly, she just couldn't stay away from the water. Again and again, she'd run back toward the waves, laughing as the sand shifted beneath her tiny feet. Watching her, I actually couldn't help but think of little Moana, and she had the same irresistible pull toward the ocean as if the sea was calling her back every time she stepped away. Seeing the beach through her eyes somehow made it even more magical for us. And of course, there was also my mom, and to see how happy she was on that beach and in Costa Rica in general, it just melted my heart. You know that feeling when you're able to give at least something back to your parents for taking care of you all those years. It's a magical feeling. One day, when we decided to go there again, we were caught by a tropical rainstorm, and most people would probably call that bad timing. But for us, In the end, it became one of our favorite memories. The crashing waves, the dramatic sky, and the empty beach gave Matapalo a completely different kind of beauty. And then we saw it from above. Only then do you realize how untouched this coastline really is. Miles of sand and rock, dense rainforest, and the vast ocean all existing together. This is the way God intended this planet. Untouched by man. Truly paradise. Okay, I don't have my mic with me, but hopefully this will still work. It's currently 11:20 a.m. We are leaving the day after tomorrow. And so we're trying to soak in as much beach time as possible. We were just here with my mom and the baby. And right now the baby is down for her nap with grandma. And I came here with my husband, and the water is absolutely stunningly, incredibly clear. We were just diving with masks. Unfortunately, the GoPro won't start, so we could not film underwater, but honestly, I have no idea how are we going to come back to cold winter Toronto after this. Like, how do you come back to a winter after a month of this paradise? As our trip was coming to an end, we thought the biggest challenge would be saying goodbye to Costa Rica, but turns out we had one more adventure waiting for us. On our way to San Jose, we were pulled over during a routine police check. That's when we discovered that the temporary document allowing us to drive our car in Costa Rica had actually expired back in December when my husband left the car here, which meant we'd unknowingly been driving with an expired permit for our entire stay. But thankfully, our import company stepped in right away. They spoke with the police over the phone, helped us clear up the misunderstanding, and after quite a few stressful hours, we were back on the road. It basically turned out to be another reminder that sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't the paperwork, it's the language barrier. And yes, we thought that would be the end of the excitement. It wasn't. Since we decided to extend our trip and stay a little longer, we had to change our return flights, and that turned into another unexpected headache. The last couple of days before flying home were probably the most stressful of the entire trip. But Just like every good travel story, everything worked out in the end, and we made it home safely with a few more stories to tell and one more reminder that the most memorable trips are rarely the ones where everything goes according to plan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on our next adventure.